What's good, family? Appreciate y'all for pulling up on me, tapping in with the Neighborhood Book Club. Like, subscribe. You know, it feels good in your soul, man. You're not gonna enjoy the video the same way unless you like, unless you subscribe. Yeah, dig. Also, be sure to share it with your loved ones, because we educating them, having some fun. And in this segment, and in this series, we're gonna be talking about finances. That's right, making that money.
I won. Give me my money.
You what?
And who don't want to learn about money? Listen in, get you a pad and a pen, and I'm gonna go ahead and teach you a little something. First book is Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. First lesson was make money work for you. Again, make money work for you. And what does that mean? Rich people make money work for them. Poor people work for money. What does that mean? Let's simplify a little bit. Pretty much when you're living in the mentality of work, pay bills, and save money, you are working for money. We all know what that is and how that goes. I grew up in a low-income family, and aside from street stuff, like, that's how most people think. That's what majority of people do, and that's how the direction that they take it. I don't see people really making it out of that. And when I say making it out, I mean who gets long-term wealth from doing that. Not just money for your life, but your kids' kids throughout generations. Do you own your time and your destiny? Think about mailbox money with Nip, giving that insight on that. And that's what it's about. Do the jobs give you that? And or do they make you happy? Or do they keep you healthy? Are you proud of what you're doing? Are you at peace with yourself and what you've done and what you've made? That's what I sum out. I read this next statement and it made so much sense to me. It changed my whole gear. Robert says, you can't master something that you're a slave to. You can't master money when you're a slave to money. It doesn't work that way. And I was just like, whoo, like, yeah. That's it. That was it on the head. You really do. How are you supposed to master money when you slave and work for it the way that we do? Too many poor people have a make it by any means. It's a necessity, right? And I understand that. I grew up in that. Come from broke pockets, broke families, and just some janky situations. Some people have to grow up to it. Some people don't have the knowledge or didn't have the tool, don't feel they have the tool. And so we come from feeling like there's only so many choices that we have. So we look at our best one as get a job, pay bills, and save until, you know, oh, we'll figure it out later. Oftentimes we then daydream about later versus really taking action. I feel like it's from a lack of knowledge. That comes from a lack of knowing and understanding your choices. And thus we are made slaves to money or slaves to making money, but we can't allow our situation to take us, man, and make us revolve our lives around money, because it's really just a piece of paper. It's nothing. So we as a society have put value on money, but really something that Rich Dad told Robert, and I have to agree with, money is what we agree it is. And a lot of people grow up in situations where money is everything. So they treat money like it's everything. Gotta have it, again, by any means. That's a tough place to be in mentally, to just reach into a rich man's life. I think of money, and I think that the reason we created money is valid, but the currency itself is just paper or coin or whatever it is. You know, I think of money after reading this book as energy that's just converted through different matters. And what does that mean? I have to go back to the origin of money in order to understand it. But before money, it was the barter system, right? So we traded for goods and services, right? So I'll cut your grass if you cook me food, give me 10 oranges, and I'll give you 3 pineapples, you know, that kind of deal. And so money was created because everybody's goods weren't exchangeable or exchange worthy, right? Say somebody swallows swords, like whatever, and they going to go get meat. Like, as the butcher, I don't care that you eat swords, bro. Like I need something that's valuable to me that I could take home to my family. And eating swords, fire swords, and walking on your hands and popping pimples ain't gonna get it done. So thus, I believe money was created. Now, that's not 100% fact. That's me just kind of giving a deductive reasoning on how it kind of came about. If anybody knows better, by all means, educate your boy. But to me, that's what makes logical sense. When I think of why money was created, it was to get over that hump of goods not being exchangeable or exchange worthy. And so thus, money, the purpose of money and its programming started, right? When I say programming, it's purpose, right? its code started. Again, that's the barter system, changing goods and services. So money is really just a new form or extension of people's exchanging of goods and services. And so then it's just a matter of what your good and or service is. If we stay with that, what is your good or service? To get back to my thought that money is really just energy being converted, I think of a cook. They buy foods, they make it into something else, they add energy, they add time, they add this, that, the third, and then they sell it to make their profit and then proceed to replicate it over and over and over again. And that's simply a business. Having money is really more so just a lightning rod to me of how good or well people are engaging with your good and or service. How often, how much yours is sought after. So you think of the present day, car is a good, barber, your hairstylist is a service. Some people get creative with it and provide both, but they always start with a base. So I'm gonna ask you, what's your good or your service? What area do you work in right now, right? What type of business do you want attached to your name, connected to your life, right? Not 5 years, 10 years. I'm talking about 20 years, 30 years, your whole life. Where your kids, they know you for that. Your grandkids know you for that. What do you want attached to your life? And if you don't have one yet, what good or service would you like to be in? What markets do you like? What do you know about, right? Are you willing to learn in order to be in it? I want y'all to post. I want y'all to comment on that. Whatever it is, man, keep it simple. So to bring the stories full circle, too many people are slaving for money instead of making money work for them. I'll say they're not converting their energy. And we see it all the time. Who didn't have bad fast food service before, right? You pull up, they got a shitty, stank attitude. But the reasoning behind that, maybe they having a bad day, but bigger than that is that they're not in the right good or service. AKA, they're not in the right business or company and they're upset internally, which they project outward. But when you're a good server, you can tell. Right? Because they put love in it. Somebody flip burgers, bruh, it tastes like they didn't put their foot in it. They good, running through the whole thing. Give me a second order because they put love in it. It's the service that they want to do. It's the service that they're good and are willing to truly provide. Don't simply do it for money and paying bills and spending, but you know, do it because it's what you love to do. Don't misunderstand me. Like having a job is important. You know, we do have responsibilities as adults. And it was really just questioning yourself as to why, right? Why do you have the job that you have? Why did you pick it? What are you doing there? And is it fixing your problem? Is it your solution long-term, or is it a short-term solution that you turned around and made for a long-term problem? It's key things to think about in the way that you think about it. Obviously, we want wealth. Robert gave the next idea of saying that we have to build a foundation, a groundwork that you have for what you're doing in the business and company that you're creating, or the area and good that you're providing. There are various things that you want to do. You don't gotta, personally I say you don't gotta be stuck in one thing, but I think it's good to be a master of one thing and then proceed. Have a foundation of what you want. I say, because of the origin of money, right? What do you want to barter? And what are your bargaining chips? Do you love it? Love it deeply to the point where you feel like you're willing to work at it and learn about it, even on days you don't feel like. At the end of the day, you understand what it is and you love doing what you're doing. We take jobs to make money and think we'll feel more secure. But I think if COVID taught everybody anything, man, none of it is promised. Many of us lose control of our thought because our emotions. And the two main emotions that get us caught up in this rat race of working job after job and not really doing what set out to do is fear and greed. Fear pushes you. Sometimes you feel like you don't want to miss out. And the opposite of that is greed, which is when you're doing something you want. Every piece of the bread loaf, every crumb and morsel, one pushes you, fear pushes you, and greed calls you, right? It kind of pulls you around. Sometimes other people will project their fears and their greed onto you. I find personally that when I listen to other people's projections instead of what I'm doing, things never go well because it wasn't for me. The reasoning and purpose behind it is jacked. And so when it burns out, I'm done with the thing. I'm so over it. Oftentimes our environments can even affect us and pour into us. When you grow up in a poor environment, all the fear and greed and money that's around you, projected around you, sometimes will internalize it, right? And now it's self-inflicted. It's self-inflicted fear. Match that up with some ignorance. Match that up with not knowing yourself and what you really want. what's going around you, and it turns us into the trap. It turns us into the rat race and the hamster wheel that we just can't seem to get off of. I think the dope part of something being self-inflicted, though, whether that's fear or ignorance, because I think both are self-inflicted, is that there's also self-cure. You have the answer within yourself. Any trap that you got yourself into, you can take yourself out of. And it's all about changing your actions, changing your thoughts, and making different moves. Point is to know each of your emotions and not being caught up in them, but take advantage of them. When you know your emotions, you can take advantage of them and you can steer yourself differently. You know yourself. When we control ourselves, we control our emotions, utilize our minds and our thoughts, we become creative and are open and truthful with self, and our actions change. From there, it's not about working for money. We figure out how to make money, and in turn, we will learn how to make money work for us. All right, y'all, that's the first lesson. Saying Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I appreciate Robert Kiyosaki so much for this lesson. I appreciate all of y'all for tapping in with me. This is one lesson of many. I'm grateful to be here, grateful to be in this position, grateful to be able to speak with y'all, man. I love doing this. I love learning, I love sharing, and this is where my family's at, man. We gonna do it like this. You dig me? Shout out to Nipsey, bro, bringing all this knowledge together, inspiring the masses to come together and learn, develop and self-improve. I want to thank Hunger Force Beats. He's doing the beats behind me. You understand me? Go check in the description. Book link is in the description for Rich Dad Poor Dad. Go get that. Hunger Force Beats is the man that's making the beat that we on right now. Go check up with that. And yeah, man, I appreciate y'all for pulling up and tapping in with the neighborhood, with your kid, with your boy. Man, it's love. I pray y'all get all the love back in return.